Hello, I am He-sun, the father of this family. We are a Chinese-American immigrant family who came to San Francisco in the year 1840. We chose the city of Portsmouth because it has the highest population of Chinese in America. I was the first member of the family to come over. Because of the hardships in China, I was only a farmer, and I heard stories of my neighbors, friends, and families who had come to America to seek their own riches and were successful. So I left the homeland in hopes for a better life. For work in America, I found myself in the railroads and in the gold mines. Next, I'd like to introduce my wife, She.
Hi, my name is She-sun. Life was very hard in China, and so my husband decided to come over here in hopes for a new life. He started working really hard, and I was waiting very patiently for him to come back and get me so that we can go back to America and start a family. When I got to America, I had 3 children, Yu, Mei, and Hu's son. I typically spend my days at home trying to take care of the family, teaching them and getting prepared for the world that we live in. I would like to introduce to you my son, Yu-sun.
Hello, I'm Yu-sun, and I was born here in the United States, in California. I'm currently 17, and when I was 11 years old, I started helping my dad out with supporting the family. Currently, what I do is I help out by going to the gold mines and trying to find gold, but it never usually happens. Both my parents are really hard workers, and my mom does the best she can to try and help support the family back at home. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she takes care of both my sisters and I whenever we're home. Let me introduce you to my sister, He-sun.
Hello, my name is Mei-sun, and I am 16 years old. I was born here in the United States. I try to help out my mom the best I can. I help her wash the dishes, clean the house, wash the clothes for my father, my brother, my sister, my younger sister. I also try to help my mom take care of my younger sister the best I can. And I have an older brother that's pretty annoying sometimes, but what can I do? He's just my older brother. We just try to survive here in our household with the little that we have.
My name is He-sun, and I'm 11 years old. I am the baby of this family. Me, like the rest of my siblings, was born here in San Francisco, California, after my parents came to the United States. I don't do much. I try to help around my house as much as I can. So when my father and my brother come from work, we can receive them with a warm meal and a clean house. My siblings and I don't go to school, but our mother tries their best to teach us whatever she can. My family lives in an all Chinese community, so my friends are also Chinese American, like my siblings and I. So on my free time, I like to go out and play and associate with them.
I love my 2 daughters very much, and since they were born in America, I try my hardest to instill in them the culture of Chinese. When my husband brought me back over here, I brought many linens, literature, artifacts, and clothing from China. So I teach my daughters how to know the Chinese culture, dress in basic Chinese culturistic ways, sew, cook authentic type of dishes, and overall know and love the culture that is my home. Welcome to a day in our lives.
My week begins at the railroad. I stay here for about 6 days a week. From sunrise to sundown, I'm working. The white people who work on the road get to stay in the cars, whereas we, the Chinese, stay in the tents.
Now, join me for a day in my life. been panning for gold since I was 11 years old, and we haven't had much success. My dad spends most of his time on the railroad tracks, and I just spend all day here. All the white American folks since 1949, when they all rushed over here and they heard about all the gold, terrorized all the prime locations for gold. So we don't get much, but we get what we can, and it helps our family. Sorry, I was holding it on the wrong side. But I do this all day for hours until I come back home, and my mom and my sisters prepare dinner for me and my father and the whole family.
The Western Pacific Railroad was promised as a good job for us Chinese immigrants. The company employs over 16,000 of us who all, too, live in tents. While at first it seemed like a good job, we are no more than wage slaves.
With word of the gold rush spreading like a wildfire, the train began construction. Its goal was to span from San Francisco all the way to Utah.
Between the harsh environment and the long hours,
There's little time for social interaction with the other workers, which makes this a very unenjoyable occupation to have. But at least it gave me the money to bring my family over to America.
It's been 3 years now since 1849, and everyone rushed here for the gold. And right when we started making some money and finding success in this, they hit us with the Foreign Miners Tax Act of 1852. This really hampered our success, and we're basically struggling now. And now I started working with my dad at the railroads.
The Foreign Miners Act really put a challenge on our family. On average, at the gold mines, my son was only making about $6 a month. And this tax made us owe $3 of that every month. That's half of what we were making. This forced my husband to go into the railroad industry, which was an even harder job to work, and we didn't get to see him as often because he would have to spend 6 days out of the week living there. My son continued to work at the mines, even though we were getting taxed, because it was closer and it allowed him to come home at night. I wasn't ready to let him spend 6 days out of the week at the railroad.
Being the youngest of the family, I didn't really understand what the foreign miners tax was. I would just hear my parents speak about it at the end of the month, every month. Due to this act, all I know is that my father had to move away and work at the railroads, and I didn't see him much, which did sadden me every so often.
Ever since the Foreign Miners Act began, I heard in my family that things were getting really rough. I also had to help out and contribute with the family. My mom had taught me how to sew, and they sent me to work at an early age to help out support my family. I really missed my father because I wouldn't see him much.
Despite all of the hardships that my family has been through, I'm ever grateful to my husband who brought us here to America. Life is better here than it would have been in China. The government is better, even though we don't get treated as equally as we should. I have hope for a better future for myself, my husband, and my offspring. They are hard workers, and I believe that times are changing and that we will see a better future soon.